Greetings and God's peace be with you. My name is Kristofer Lindh-Payne and I'm one of the co-rectors at St. Francis Episcopal Parish and Community Center. I'm standing out in the Memorial Garden, specifically in our columbarium, and I thought we might walk together as I offer this reflection today. Standing in this space on this beautiful day and pondering the people whose ashes are buried here in the columbarium and in the Memorial Garden grounds here. Some of them I know well, and others I only know by name as I read the placards and pray. As we ponder those who have gone before and remember how our lives have been touched, how this community of faith has been changed by the lives, the ministries, the witness of so many people that have made it possible to be where we are today. As I walk the grounds here and spend time praying, I am thoroughly appreciating the blue stone that has been placed on the pathway here that you can see in the pictures. Perhaps you've been out to walk in the space as well. I'm struck by the beauty of it and the history of these stones that were once placed over at Providence Road and now mark a path through the Memorial Garden from the columbarium over to the outdoor altar and labyrinth. As we ponder the past, we reflect and remember missing those that we have loved and lost. We find ourselves in the present in the midst of grief, yes, but also in the midst of hope, the promises of God. As we walk along, these stones guide us, and we find ourselves creating new moments, new memories together, gathered in worship and service, in fellowship, gathering in all sorts of ways to do the work that God calls us to do, to be the people that God calls us to be, to do as the prophet Micah calls us, to do justice, to love mercy and walk humbly with God. I had the occasion just the other day to see this space with entirely new eyes, which might not seem so miraculous given that this pathway itself is a new creation. But I had an opportunity at our last Pantry on the Go event to meet some folks that had come from a very great distance. I believe they have won the prize for the volunteers that have traveled the farthest to give a gift to St. Francis, to share their time with us, to share their talent, and to serve as we learn and grow together. This particular family had come from Nepal, and it was amazing to meet them and to greet them. It was actually my fellow co-rector that met them in the parking lot and brought them in, and while she was working on other things, she asked if I had time to give them a tour. And I thought to myself for a moment, not wondering if I had time because I was glad to make space to be able to walk with them, but what would someone from Nepal with a very different cultural background, with a very different belief system, what would they want to know about us? What would they want to know about this place and this people, and how could I tell them that story in a way that made sense? Because of language and cultural barriers, I did my best, and we stayed distant and masked, and they asked questions, and I did my best to answer them. But I found myself just feeling awkward, and like the offering that I had to give really didn't feel like enough. They had come such a long way, obviously not just to come to St. Francis, of course, but they were here and they were interested and they wanted to learn and know and have an experience. So we walked and we talked, we listened and we shared. And it was when the tour was ending and I thought to myself, I need to show them our outside space. It was then that things really clicked for me as I pondered the universals that really connect us as human beings, the experience of death that we all will have, the experience of loss and grief, and the different practices and customs that help to heal our wounded souls. While they are different across space and time, there is so much commonality. So I took them out to the columbarium in the memorial garden and we walked. We walked and we talked some more, and I brought them out to the labyrinth, and they got so excited to have that opportunity, and to watch them play as they prayed was one of the more profound things that I've seen in a long time. To be with them in that sacred space, to share this sacred time together, really moved me. I could feel the Spirit working in a powerful way. As each of us shared from our unique perspectives within mine, the Christian and Episcopal faith, but specifically as a Franciscan, and them from their Buddhist perspective. We talked and listened and shared. When we build these relationships across these many and diverse dividing lines, I think we have so many opportunities to learn and grow together, to become more whole, and to realize in profound ways the truth of the mystery of God in our lives. And this encounter with this family was one that I think I'll carry with me for a long time. As I walk this labyrinth today and pray and play myself, not trying to recreate that experience, but just remembering who I am and whose I am, who we are at St. Francis and whose we are. As I ponder where we've been already, and I ponder where we are going together as we walk this winding way and find ourselves in the presence of God, who is with us now and will be with us always. Thanks for listening. God's peace be with you.